All right, let's get right into it. Think about this for a second. We are right on the edge of a world where AI can build a perfect, custom-made reality just for you. I mean, everything you see, everything you hear, every experience, it could all be generated by a machine to create this flawless life. But if that happens, what does that do to our whole idea of truth? Seriously, if everything feels real, does being real even matter anymore? This quote from Nicholas Carr absolutely nails the problem we're facing. You see, the biggest threat from AI isn't that we're going to be fooled by every single fake out there. No. The real danger is that we'll just become so cynical that we stop believing in anything at all, even when it's the honest-to-God truth. So, how did we even get here? Well, it turns out the line between what's real and what's artificial is already getting blurry, and in some really, really strange ways. Let's take a look at how this simulation machine is already up and running. Okay, get this. In Vienna, there's an AI named Flynn. Two students created it, and it was officially admitted to the University of Applied Arts. It goes to class, it gets graded, it even keeps a journal just like any other student. Now, Flynn isn't trying to trick anyone into thinking it's human. The crazy part is it's authentically performing the role of a student. It shows that AI can now just slot into our social structures in a real functional way. Or how about this story from Italy? The media, academics, everyone was talking about the brilliant theories of this Hong Kong philosopher, Jianwei Sun. There was just one tiny problem. He didn't exist at all. He was a complete fabrication, an AI-generated personality that another philosopher cooked up, just to see if he could inject a totally fake idea into public discussion. And you know what? It worked. So here's the thing you have to understand. These fakes are getting unbelievably sophisticated. It's not just about pasting a face onto a video anymore. Modern AI video is built in layers. First, it starts with identity seeding, where the AI scrapes public data, think LinkedIn photos, YouTube videos, to learn a person's face and voice. Then comes behavioral cloning, where it actually copies how they talk, their little tics and mannerisms. After that, it stitches the clone into a totally believable setting. And finally, it layers everything, the video, the audio, the expressions, so they are in perfect sync. That's why they feel so real. And how good are we at telling the difference? Well, the answer is not good at all. This number is genuinely shocking. In studies, people were only able to correctly spot a high-quality deepfake about a quarter of the time. That means 3/4 of the time, we're being fooled. Think about that. Our own eyes are no longer reliable witnesses. Now, this tech doesn't just exist in a lab somewhere. These tools are out in the wild, they're easy to use, and they can be deployed at an industrial scale. And what that creates is a massive, overwhelming flood of artificial content. This has given rise to a brand new term that researchers are using, slopaganda. It's exactly what it sounds like, using AI to churn out huge amounts of pretty low-quality but super personalized propaganda. See, the goal isn't to make one perfect fake that convinces everyone. The goal is to just overwhelm you with sheer volume. We're already seeing media companies that are allegedly producing something like 3,000 AI-generated local news stories every single week. And that feeling of just being drowned in fake stuff has led to something called the dead internet theory. It's this growing belief, this creeping feeling that most of what you see online isn't from a real person anymore. It feels like we're all swimming in an ocean of AI content, bots, and corporate messages, and trying to find an authentic human voice is getting harder and harder. And this whole flood is so effective because it exploits a well-known glitch in our brains, the illusory truth effect. It's a simple cognitive bias. The more you see or hear a statement, the more likely you are to believe it's true, even if you know it's not. So when AI can just carpet bomb our feeds with the same message a million times, well, it's basically hacking our ability to tell what's real. Okay, but here's the real twist. And honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole explainer. The biggest danger isn't that we're going to believe all the fakes. It's the complete opposite. It's that we're going to stop believing in reality. For years, the big fear was, what if we get tricked by a fake video, right? But the much deeper, more corrosive danger we're dealing with now is the power to dismiss any real video, no matter how authentic, by just calling it a deepfake. And there's a term for this. It's called the liar's dividend. This is where a public figure gets caught on camera saying or doing something terrible, and they can just turn around and say, nope, that's a sophisticated deepfake. And because we all know deepfakes exist, it introduces just enough doubt to let them get away with it. It's the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. We're already seeing the fallout from this. During the war in Ukraine, researchers found that real, genuine combat footage was constantly being called fake on social media. And here's the irony, even trying to warn people about deepfakes can make it worse, because it just makes them more skeptical of everything. It fuels wild conspiracies, like world leaders being replaced by body doubles. And the word deepfake just becomes this lazy shorthand to dismiss any truth you don't like. So if that's where we are, what's the end game? Where does all this lead? Well, it leads to a place where the simulation, the copy, stops just being a picture of the world and starts actually changing it. Believe it or not, a philosopher named Jean Baudrillard saw this coming way back in the 80s. He said we were entering an age of hyper-reality, where the model of a thing, the image, becomes more real, more important than the actual thing itself. He used this great analogy of a map that gets so detailed and so perfect that it ends up replacing the very territory it was supposed to describe. And you can see this happening all around us today. You see it in the Disneylandization of cities, where historic places are literally changed to look more like the idealized pictures tourists see on Instagram. You see it when people get plastic surgery to look more like their own filtered selfies. And you definitely see it with those starter pack memes, where people build their whole identity out of these pre-made digital parts. And that is the ultimate inversion right there. The loop is now complete. It's not just about AI making a copy of our world anymore. It's that we, actual humans, are now busy changing our physical world, our cities, even our own bodies, to look more like the digital simulation we created. Which brings us, finally, to the one question that ties this whole thing together. It's a question about what truth is even worth in this strange new world we're building. So let's just think this through, step by step. If the entire information world we see through our screens is being generated by AI, and then we take that simulation and start actively reshaping our physical reality to match that digital ideal, then what happens to the whole idea of an objective shared truth? When the copy becomes more real than the original, and we start changing the original to look like the copy, does the difference between what's true and what's fake even matter? That's the question.